Hello! Welcome back, everyone, to the Linguasphere Academy Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam, right here with you. Good to have you with us again.
You know, Sam, I was thinking about something earlier today. I was imagining what I would do if I won $1 million.
Ooh, $1 million. Okay, now I'm curious. What would you do?
Well, first, I would pay off all my debts. University fees, utility bills, all that boring stuff. Then, I would buy a nice little house somewhere quiet, maybe near the ocean.
That sounds lovely. I would travel. I would visit all the places I've always dreamed of. Japan, Italy, Morocco, and I would eat all the food.
Of course you would. But here's the interesting thing. Did you notice how we were talking?
What do you mean?
We were using would over and over. I would pay. I would buy. I would travel. We were talking about imaginary situations, things that aren't real right now.
Oh, I see. We were using the second conditional, talking about hypothetical situations, things that are possible in our imagination, but not necessarily real.
Exactly. And that's our topic today. Conditional Type Two, the second conditional.
Now, before anyone gets scared, let me explain. Conditionals are just sentences with if. If this happens, then that happens. Type 0 and Type 1 are for real situations. Type 2 is for imaginary situations.
Imaginary means not real. It's in your head, your imagination, things that probably won't happen, or things that are just dreams.
Like winning $1 million. That could happen, but it's not likely. Or like being a bird and flying through the sky. That's pure imagination.
Today, we're going to break down the second conditional completely, when to use it, how to form it, and lots of examples.
We'll also explain any words that might be hard to understand, so if you're a beginner, don't worry, we've got you.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about your dreams, your wishes, and your imaginary scenarios with confidence.
As always, we'll speak clearly and keep it friendly. This is like a conversation between friends, not a boring grammar lesson.
So, get comfortable. Let's start with the big question. What is the second conditional?
The second conditional is used for imaginary situations in the present or future, things that are not real now and probably won't happen.
The structure is if plus past simple plus would plus base verb.
Let's break that down. After if, we use the past simple tense. But here's the tricky part. It's not about past time, it's about imaginary present or future.
Right, so if I say, if I had $1 million, I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about now, an imaginary present where I have $1 million.
Then, in the other part of the sentence, we use would plus the base form of the verb. I would buy a house.
So together, if I had $1 million, I would buy a house.
Let's say that together. If I had $1 million, I would buy a house. Notice the pronunciation. I'd is the contraction of I would. Native speakers use contractions all the time.
I'd, you'd, he'd, she'd, we'd, they'd. These are short forms. They sound more natural in conversation.
Now, let's talk about the meaning. The second conditional is for unlikely or imaginary situations.
Unlikely means probably won't happen. Imaginary means not real, like a dream or a wish.
For example, if I won the lottery, I would travel the world. Winning the lottery is possible, but it's not likely, so we use second conditional.
If I were you, I would study more. This is a very common phrase. If I were you means I'm imagining myself in your situation, but I'm not you, so it's imaginary.
Notice we say if I were, not if I was. This is a special rule for the second conditional. With I and he, she, it, we use were in formal English.
In casual conversations, many people say if I was, but grammatically if I were is correct. Both are used, but we'll teach you the standard form.
Good to know. So remember, if I were, if he were, if she were, if it were.
Now, let's look at more examples.
If I had more time, I would learn to play the guitar. I don't have more time now, so this is imaginary.
If she knew the answer, she would tell us. She doesn't know the answer, so it's imaginary.
If we lived in Paris, we would visit the Eiffel Tower every day. We don't live in Paris, so it's imaginary.
If he were taller, he would play basketball. He's not tall, so it's imaginary.
See the pattern? The if part describes a situation that is not true now. The would part describes the result if that situation were true.
Now, let's talk about the pronunciation of would. In fast speech, it often sounds like would, or even just D after pronouns.
I would becomes I'd. You would becomes you'd. We would becomes we'd. Practice these. I'd, you'd, he'd, she'd, we'd, they'd.
Good. Now let's practice together. Repeat after me in your head or out loud if you're alone.
Sam, if I had a car, I'd drive to work.
If she were here, she'd help us.
If they invited me, I'd go to the party.
Good. Now let's talk about questions in the second conditional.
To make a question, we change the word order. What would you do if you won the lottery?
Notice would comes before you. What would you do then if you won the lottery?
Another example, if you had $1 million, where would you travel?
Would you be happy if you lived alone?
These are natural questions we ask in conversations. They're great for getting to know people.
Now, let's talk about negative sentences. We can make the if part negative or the would part negative.
If I didn't have to work, I would travel more. Didn't have is negative in the if clause.
If I had more money, I wouldn't worry so much. Wouldn't worry is negative in the result clause.
If she weren't so busy, she would call more often. Weren't is negative with were.
Notice weren't is the contraction of were not. We use it with all subjects in second conditional. I weren't, he weren't, she weren't, it weren't.
In casual English, some people say wasn't, but weren't is considered correct for imaginary situations.
Now, let's talk about the difference between first and second conditional. This is where learners often get confused.
First conditional is for real possibilities in the future. If it rains tomorrow, I will stay home. It might really rain.
Second conditional is for imaginary or unlikely situations. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house. Winning the lottery is possible, but it's not likely.
First conditional, if plus present simple plus will plus verb. Second conditional, if plus past simple plus would plus verb.
First conditional is about real life. Second conditional is about dreams and imagination.
Let's compare. First conditional, if I have time later, I will call you. Real possibility, I might have time.
Second, if I had time, I would learn Spanish. Imaginary, I don't have time now.
First, if she studies, she will pass the test. Real possibility.
Second, if she studied, she would pass the test. Imaginary, she doesn't study now.
Do you hear the difference? The second conditional feels more dreamy, less certain.
Now let's talk about using the second conditional for advice. This is very common.
The phrase, if I were you, I would, is used all the time to give advice.
If I were you, I would talk to your boss. I'm not you, but I'm imagining being in your situation.
If I were you, I would take that job. Advice about a job offer.
If I were you, I wouldn't worry so much. Advice about anxiety.
This is a friendly way to give advice. It doesn't sound bossy. It sounds like you're trying to help.
Now let's talk about using the second conditional for dreams and wishes. This is the fun part.
We can talk about our biggest dreams using second conditional.
If I could speak 5 languages, I would travel everywhere. I can't speak 5 languages, but I dream about it.
If I met my favorite celebrity, I would probably be too nervous to talk. Imaginary meeting.
If I lived in a castle, I would have 100 rooms. Imaginary life.
These sentences let us play with imagination. They're fun to say and fun to think about.
Now let's talk about common mistakes with the second conditional.
Mistake number 1, using would in the if clause. This is wrong.
Incorrect. If I would have time, I would call you. Correct. If I had time, I would call you.
Never use would after if, only in the result clause.
Mistake number 2, using present simple in the result clause.
Incorrect. If I have money, I buy a car. Correct. If I had money, I would buy a car.
Mistake number 3, forgetting to change the verb in the if clause.
Incorrect. If I have $1 million, I would travel. Correct. If I had $1 million, I would travel.
Remember, second conditional needs past simple after if, even though we're talking about imaginary present or future.
Mistake number 4, using was instead of were with I, he, she, or it.
Informal but common, if I was you, I would go. Standard or formal, if I were you, I would go.
Both are used, but were is considered correct in formal English. We recommend using were in writing and formal situations.
Now let's practice with some exercises. I'll give you a situation and you make a second conditional sentence.
Okay, I'm ready.
Situation. You don't have a car. Imagine if you had one. What would you do?
If I had a car, I would drive to the beach every weekend.
Nice. Next, you can't speak Japanese. Imagine if you could.
If I could speak Japanese, I would watch anime without subtitles.
Ha, good one. Next, it's not your birthday today. Imagine if it were.
If it were my birthday, I would eat cake for breakfast.
Perfect. Now make it negative. You have to work tomorrow. Imagine if you didn't.
If I didn't have to work tomorrow, I would sleep until noon.
Great. You've got it.
Now let's talk about the word could. In second conditional, we often use could instead of would to show ability or possibility.
Could means would be able to. It's like would, but with the idea of being able to do something.
Example, if I spoke French, I could talk to people in Paris. I would be able to talk to people.
If we had more money, we could buy a bigger house. We would be able to buy a bigger house.
If she weren't so tired, she could come with us. She would be able to come.
So you have options. Would for general results, could for ability or possibility.
Now let's talk about might. This expresses possibility but less certain than would.
If I had more free time, I might start a blog. Maybe I would, maybe not. Not sure.
If he asked me out, I might say yes. Possible but not certain.
So would is more definite. Might is less sure.
Now let's learn some useful vocabulary that might be new.
Lottery, a game where you buy a ticket and could win money. Win the lottery means get a lot of money from this game.
Debt is money you owe to someone. Pay off debts means give back money you borrowed.
Hypothetical, imaginary, not real. This is a hypothetical situation, means we're just imagining it.
Unlikely probably won't happen. Winning the lottery is unlikely means it probably won't happen.
Imaginary, not real, in your imagination. An imaginary friend is a friend who isn't real.
Advice is suggestions about what someone should do. Give advice means tell someone what you think they should do.
Celebrity, a famous person, like a movie star or singer.
Subtitle is the words at the bottom of the screen when you watch a movie in another language.
Anime, Japanese cartoons, very popular around the world.
Noon is 12 o'clock in the daytime. Sleep until noon means sleep until midday.
Great. Now let's put it all together with some longer examples.
Imagine you're talking to a friend about your dreams.
If I could live anywhere in the world, I would live in a small village by the ocean. I would wake up every day and hear the waves.
That sounds beautiful. If I lived by the ocean, I would learn to surf. I've always wanted to try.
If I learned to surf, I would probably fall 100 times before I stood up.
Same, but it would be worth it.
See how natural that sounds? Just two friends sharing imaginary dreams.
Now let's practice a conversation about giving advice.
Hey Sam, I have a problem. I don't know whether to take this new job.
If I were you, I would make a list of pros and cons.
That's a good idea. What if the salary is lower, but the work is more interesting?
If the work were more interesting, I would probably take it. Happiness matters more than money.
You're right. If I took the job, I might have more time for my family too.
See, you're already figuring it out.
Natural, friendly, and full of second conditional.
Now let's bring back Maya. Maya is learning the second conditional.
Maya is practicing on her own. She writes some sentences in her notebook.
If I had more time, I would practice English every day.
Good. She checks the structure. If plus past simple, had, would plus verb, would practice. Correct.
Next, if I lived in an English-speaking country, I would learn faster.
If plus past simple, lived, would plus verb, learn. Perfect.
If I were fluent, I would watch movies without subtitles.
Notice she used were with I. Good job, Maya.
She practices saying them out loud. If I were fluent, I'd watch movies without subtitles. Using the contraction I'd sounds natural.
She feels proud. She's using second conditional correctly.
Now here's your challenge for this week.
Write 5 second conditional sentences about your own dreams and wishes.
Think about things that are imaginary or unlikely for you.
What would you do if you had more time?
What would you buy if you had extra money?
Where would you travel if you could go anywhere?
What would you learn if you could learn anything?
Who would you meet if you could meet anyone?
Write them down. Say them out loud. Use contractions. I'd, you'd, he'd, she'd, we'd, they'd.
Then come back and tell us in the comments. Share one of your sentences with us.
We read every comment. We love seeing your progress.
Remember, the second conditional is your friend. It lets you dream, imagine, and give advice.
It's not complicated. It's just if plus past simple, would plus verb.
Practice makes perfect. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes.
Thank you for spending this time with us. We'll be back next week with another topic.
Until then, keep dreaming, keep imagining, and keep practicing.
And hey, before you go, if this episode helped you understand the second conditional, please hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it means we can keep making these clear, friendly grammar episodes.
Yes, please, and leave us a comment with one of your second conditional sentences. We'd love to read them.
We read every comment. Your sentences inspire other learners.
Subscribe, comment, share. It helps more people master English conditionals.
Thanks again, everyone. Now go dream in English.
Bye!